from Fast Tech. In this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to disassemble a PS4 CUH-2115. If you have a CUH-2100 or 2116 or 2117, this video also applies to you. The most important thing to look out for are the first two numbers after CUH, and you can check the model number of your PS4 right here. Right under Sony, it should say PlayStation 4, and under that, it should say model, and this one's a CUH-2115B. We're gonna be using our Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit to disassemble this PS4 Slim. Not only does this disassemble your PS4, but all other kinds of electronics. Links in the description box, also the top comment, and you can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. Also, before we start, guys, please subscribe to my vlog channel in which I travel the world and I record my adventures. And I promise that you won't be disappointed. Links in the description box. And also follow me on Instagram, where I post vlogs that are generally funny and entertaining, not tech-related stuff, but I'm sure a lot of you guys will find it interesting. Link for that is also in the description box and the top comment. First thing I'm going to show you guys how to replace is the hard drive. And this is a very common item that fails. And if you're getting the PS4 cannot start error message, or if your PS4 is not loading games even from the hard drive, or it gets stuck on the PlayStation menu, you could have a defective hard drive. And you can remove that by lifting this piece up like this. It's an L-shaped piece, it's gonna come off. Then we're gonna remove this Phillips screw that holds the hard drive in. Once we get that screw out, we're gonna pull this hard drive out like this by pulling on this band, and the hard drive is gonna come out. Now it is in an enclosure, so if you need to get it out of the enclosure, you can remove the Phillips screws that hold it in. At this point, we're gonna be able to lift it out. This one is a 1 terabyte. And we sell these on our website, including 2 terabyte, 5 terabyte options, 4 terabyte options, and also SSDs as well. Now I'm going to show you guys how to remove the top cover. It's very simple. All you got to do is stick your fingers in at the front and lift up this cover like that, and the top cover is going to come off. Now you want to do this if you want to do general cleaning on this thing. You can blow out this fan with a compressed air can. But to fully clean it, we're gonna have to take the motherboard out, take the heatsink out, and I'm gonna be showing you guys how to do that too, so stay tuned. Next, we're gonna remove the power supply. And to remove the power supply, we're gonna have to remove these screws, and there's also some screws on the other side of the console that we're gonna have to remove. But to get to those, we're gonna have to remove this warranty sticker. And it's considered a warranty sticker in most countries except the United States due to an FTC ruling. But regardless, it does say warranty void if seal removed / damaged. I'm guessing this was printed before that FTC ruling, because now on the newer systems, this is just a black security sticker and it shows XOs when you remove it. But we're gonna go ahead and remove this sticker with a knife. And once you remove that sticker, it's gonna say void all over, as you can see. But once you've removed that sticker, there's gonna be a Torx T8H screw that's hiding underneath, not a regular T8. So a regular T8 from Home Depot is not gonna work. So at this point, we're gonna switch to our T8H bit from our Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit. And as you can notice, it's got a little security bit in it. Hook that up to our kit. It's magnetic, so it goes in automatically. And we're gonna remove this Torx T8 screw. Well, T8H. See, even I get it wrong sometimes. Because you guys keep asking me, oh, I used the T8, it didn't work. Well, it's because it's not a T8, and I've said it 500 times. And now you got me saying it wrong. Anyways, at this point, we're gonna remove this bottom cover by sticking our fingers in on the sides. And it's gonna come right off, like that. That's the bottom cover. Cleaner than I expected. Now we're gonna flip the console back over. And now we're gonna remove the T8 screws and the Phillips screws that hold it in. The one in the middle is shorter. This one goes here and the longer ones go here, so take note of that. Now we're gonna lift up this piece here. It's gonna come out, and as you can see, this side has the longer T8 and this side has the shorter one. Now, before we can completely remove this power supply, there are screws on the other side, as I mentioned earlier, that we have to remove. And now we should be able to remove the power supply. We're gonna get this antenna out of the way. And we should be able to lift it up from the front like that. Lift it up from this side, and yep, it's out. And there's a cable at the front that we're gonna have to remove. Not the best way to remove it, but you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. And that's the power supply right there. That's an ADP160ER. And the reason you'd want to replace this is if your PS4 is not turning on at all, no beep, no light indicator at the front. It's most likely due to a power supply in 99% of the cases. Sometimes it could be the motherboard, but in most of the cases, it is the power supply. And the 2115 series or the 2100 series uses an ADP160ER. If you're watching this in Europe or Asia, your power supply is going to start with an N16 or N17 or N15, something like that. But these are all interchangeable, because the ones that are sold in Europe, Asia can do 100 to 240, and so can these. As it says right here, it does 100 to 240. So they're interchangeable. So even if you're in Asia or Europe and you order one off us, even though the power supplies we get are North American units, they'll still work for your console. And again, links in the description box, guys. If you need them, you can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. We're gonna remove this antenna by lifting up the cable like that. And this antenna is gonna come out. If you're having signal issues, it could be due to this antenna. Lots of times this solder connection breaks, and then you'd have to stand really close to your controller for it to pick up signals from your controller, and there's gonna be massive controller lag. That's because this antenna is broken. You can try to fix these, but if you can't, if you don't have a soldering iron, we do sell these on our website as well. Then we're gonna flip the device over, and now we're gonna remove the rest of the screws because we are trying to get to the motherboard. But before I do that, I'm gonna show you guys how to do an easier job if you do have a broken power button, or if the light indicator at the front doesn't work, but your system works. I just got a recent comment on this issue today, so I figured I'd mention this. If your system turns on, that means if your PS4 is working fine on the TV, but there's no light indicator at the front, that means this item right here is broken. And we can replace it by removing this single Phillips screw. Little slippage there. And then we're gonna remove this cable right here. Unroute it from underneath the other antenna at the front. And we're gonna remove this tape, and this piece is gonna come right off. And that's the power button to model TSW-003. It's the power and eject button module. It's also the light indicator. Next, we're going to remove the secondary antenna by removing the screw here, unrouting this cable from under that tape. And that's gonna come out. Again, if the solder connection here is broken, you could have issues with Wi-Fi or controller connectivity. But if you can't fix it, again, we do sell these on our website as well. Now, we're gonna remove the motherboard, and to do that, we're gonna remove these 5,000 screws. They're all Phillips, so we're gonna remove these with our Phillips bit on our Fast Tech Pro Auto Kit. Now, there's still one more screw on the other side, this one here. This is a Torx that holds everything together. We're gonna remove this one here, and then the back plate should fall off at this point. So we're gonna actually grab the back plate so it doesn't fall off, possibly damage something, because the cables are still connected. So we're gonna remove the cables for the disk drive. This one pulls out. This one on the extreme other side also pulls out. This one in the middle has a clip. We're gonna lift up the clip and then pull out the cable. There's a fan connector here. We're gonna pull it out like that, and now this plate should come off. That's the back plate. And now we have access to the motherboard. We're gonna remove these two Phillips screws that hold the heatsink onto the APU. It's gonna come off like that. Lift up this piece like that. And now the motherboard should be free, but there's one more connector here that we're gonna have to remove. This is for the power supply. Just grab it by the side, wiggle and pull, take your time with it. This is probably the most difficult cable to remove. I feel like it's like a booby trap by Sony. It's so easy to rip out this connector while you're removing these. Man, this is like notoriously difficult. Okay, we're gonna grab and wiggle and pull till the cable comes out, and now the motherboard is free. This is a model number SAE-003, and this piece is the reason that the system is being disassembled, because this is a system that we bought and we have to disassemble it because one of our clients needs a motherboard. And this is the only way to get motherboards for these, and that's why right to repair is so important, because that way we don't have to actually disassemble working units to get a motherboard out of them. But as long as the economics make sense, we'll keep doing it. So let's go through some of the components that fail on these motherboards. This Bluetooth chip right here, which is responsible for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi transmissions. This chip can fail, and then you have to desolder this chip and replace it. The HDMI ports on these tend to fail, but not as much as they did on the previous PS4 models. This Panasonic chip tends to fail quite often and has to be replaced. That's definitely a weak point. One of the newer weak points of these systems is this CMOS battery right here. So if you're getting that notorious CE error and your games don't load, nothing loads anymore, it's because of this battery right here. And that's the PS4 Slim CUH-2115 model SAE-003 motherboard. If you need one of these, links in the description box and also in the top comment. You can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. Remember guys, if you buy parts off of us, that's the best way to support us. Helps us out a lot. Thank you. This piece right here you don't want to lose, because one of the screws goes in here from the other side, and that's where it goes. I'm removing that to show you guys exactly where it goes so there's no confusion. To get the heatsink out, there's some screws on the other side that we're gonna have to remove, and that would be these two long Phillips screws right here. And now there's one more screw here that we're gonna have to remove. And now the heatsink should be free. There's some dust here, as you can see. If you're getting the PS4 is too hot error message, it's because this heatsink right here is clogged up. This one's not too bad, but if your system looked like this, you should clean it out before you put it back together, because this little dust is going to become a lot of dust in 6 months or so. And that's what a lot of people miss when they're fixing these systems, is that dust right there. And you'd also want to replace the thermal paste if you get this far. We sell Thermal Grizzly on our website, which is the best thermal paste you can buy at the moment. And with that heatsink being removed out of the system, we're gonna remove the fan and the disk drive. We're gonna remove the fan first. And that's a PS4 Slim fan right there. These don't tend to fail as often as the older PS4 fans did, but that might be because these haven't been around long enough. Let me know in the comments if your PS4 Slim fan has failed. And if it has failed, we also sell this on our website. Surprise, surprise. Links in the description box. Last thing to remove is the disk drive. And now the disk drive should be free. That's the disk drive right there. Lots of times these rollers come misaligned, so if you put more than one disk, or if you have a kid who stuck something in the disk drive, these rollers could come misaligned. So what you're gonna have to do is remove these screws, lift up this panel, realign these rollers, remove anything that's in the disk drive, and that should fix your problem. Sometimes the laser in these dies, and if that dies, you can replace the laser, or the whole disk drive might need replacing sometimes. And lots of times it's easier to replace the whole disk drive than it is just to replace the laser. And we do sell the disk drive on our website. Surprise, surprise again, link in the description box. And you can use the coupon code YouTube for a discount. And with the disk drive being removed out of the system, that's the last component that we could have removed. So again, guys, if you like this video, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you need any of the parts or tools that you saw in this video, you can check us out at fasttechstore.com. Also, links are going to be in the top comment and the description box as always. This is Young Tech God from Fast Tech signing out.